Hello YouTube world and welcome back to Therapeutic Tuesdays. I am Movement Mike Nimchek and today I wanted to go over the hip flexor mobilization using a foam roller. So this is my beautiful homemade foam roller. You can see I used a yoga mat, wrapped it around there. It was an old yoga mat that wasn't quite long enough for, I didn't want to use it for yoga anymore, so I decided to repurpose and reuse it on this PVC pipe that used to be the base for my endo board that I made myself a few years back. So repurposing and reusing some of the old toys I had made myself and old gym equipment and created a new piece of gym equipment. It's the sole survivor of my foam rollers. So, using the foam roller for a hip flexor mobilization, or kind of like your warm up, cool down, just kind of opening things up. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and sit down onto the ground with the foam roller underneath your knees. After that, you're going to lay back with your head flat, with your back and head flat against the floor. And now what you can do is lift your hips up like you're in a glute bridge and place the roller right underneath. And to give you an idea of where this is, it's right on my tailbone. So it's below my hips here. These are my hips. The roller is beneath that. It's right, I mean, if I was to go any more farther forward, the roller would slide out from underneath my tailbone. Alright? So you can see I'm already getting in this position here where one leg is straight and the other knee is bent. I'm going to pull that knee in. And this is where you can micro adjust. And an important thing to notice here is you're pulling your belly button in, keeping it pulled in the whole time. That's going to keep your hips tilted inward. You're going to grab that bent knee, keeping the other leg very straight, toes pointed on both feet, right? And so you're pulling that knee in as much as you can. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose or out through your mouth, either one. And with each exhale, you're releasing and relaxing. If you have a cat, you can let her lick you, if that's what your cat does. I have a very strange cat that decides to lick my face while I'm stretching. So after about 1 or 2 minutes, I recommend doing at least 60 seconds or 2 minutes is the ideal amount of time. So once you've done that, and you can see how much space you have, or how much distance you've covered from the foot being up here and now being a little further down. So then you can just switch sides. Again, making sure that the toes are engaged, the feet are not just relaxing here. You want to keep them all engaged, because if you point your toe, you're more than likely going to be flexing your quad muscles. And that's a good thing. You want the thigh muscles to be flexed during this stretch. Core is pulled in, toes are pointed, breathing in and out through the nose, at least into the nose and out to the mouth. Wanted to say that again. And the harder you pull down this, or the tighter you hug this knee into your chest, the better the stretch. The more effective the stretch, I should say. And then you can repeat for a whole other round. So doing a total of 2 rounds for each leg. So there you have it. The kind of This is a really good way to kind of ease yourself into a hip flexor opening stretch. I have a link that I have posted down below in the description that will link you to the banded hip flexor stretch. And that one is definitely more intense and will kind of allow you to progress in this hip flexor opening endeavor in your journey towards trying to open up the hips, and especially the hip flexors and the quads or the thigh muscles being a part of that. And you'll see in this other video that I've linked down below on why it is that we get such tight hip flexors so often. And I'll just go ahead and be a spoiler. It is the fact that we sit in the chair position all day. Our knees are brought up towards our chest, and we have this kind of lightning bolt or zigzag that we just kind of slump into all day. And over time, that shortens these hip flexors because your body is going to naturally go into the position in which you spend the most time in. So you see some elderly folks and they have this kind of hunched over back, like there's something trying to come out of the upper part of their spine. That's because they spent so much time in this position, whether that's watching TV or reading the newspaper or sitting at a desk at their jobs. Something or a combination of many different things being in that same position has caused them to come into this kind of question mark spine position. Keeping everything opened up, especially in that heart center, being able to keep those back muscles active and keep your muscle or keep your spine and your joints in your body and your bones in their proper positions. That way they don't end up molding into the positions in which you tend to spend the most time in. Hence, Therapeutic Tuesday. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed this week's edition of Therapeutic Tuesday. Go ahead and try out one of these hip flexor opening mobilization exercises and let me know how it goes. Take some pictures before and after. Be like, look how much improvement I've made. One of the best ways to do that is to be able to stand up and see where your hips are. Are they still tilted down? Are they tilted up? How upright do you feel? How much of a stride can you take with your legs? Are you able to really get them far back, almost in a split? Or are you kind of stuck? Are you old man shuffling because your hamstrings and hip flexors are so wound up and tight? Loosen them up. Until next time, keep going and keep growing. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Until next time, peace.